get right. Welcome to this week. I'm just playing. Look, how we doing? we back. Welcome to the Potluck. We got a lot this week. I got to say one thing real quick before I let the other fellas chime in. Man, last episode, I loved it, man. That was amazing. Jimmy, shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to Jimmy X Moore, who was our guest last week, man. And it was phenomenal, man. You never know how it's going to go. I expected it to go well. And then I watched. Y'all know I wasn't here. Then I watched and I was like, man, this is amazing. So shout out to him. There's a lot of history, a lot of fun stuff, a lot of knowledge and gems. So make sure you go back and check out some of the other stuff, even if it's just the short clips. Shoot, man, we even got a freestyle.
He brought the bars back.
Boy, bars were back. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be a lyric. I'm back, so it's never really a letdown when your boy's in the building. But I just want to say that was a real good show, and I'm real fucking salty with y'all because I was like, I'm not even here for it, man. Damn. I had questions. I was watching the show. I was in the screen like that. So welcome to this week of the Potluck, man. Otis, Ahmad, like I said, Lulu will be here. What you got on your agenda for the day, Otis? How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. Like I said, I just was hanging out with my drinking buddy. Just had some chicken wings and greens to get me right. Feeling great, bro. You know, Mr. Nigga in the building. Nigga. How you feeling, Ahmad?
Feeling good, man. Just hanging out with the family. You know what I'm saying? Got myself some ice cream. Went shopping a little bit with the family, and I'm enjoying this Sunday afternoon. Or
what kind of ice
now.
cream though? Is it the store brand or the Haagen-Dazs?
No, it's the was it Braiders or whatever it's called? Cookies and cream. Just some basic, you know what I'm saying? Just Briars. Yeah, is it Briars? Briars. I don't know, man.
Nigga said Briars.
Briars.
Why is he acting like this is a new ice cream? Like this ain't a nationwide, like the biggest ice cream brand. And he don't Briars.
I don't know, man.
Anyway,
Drayers is Drayers and Brayers, right?
Oh man, you don't deserve that ice cream.
Man, go ahead, pass it over here, man.
It wasn't even that good. It wasn't even that good anyway, man.
Y'all don't mind me. I'm remote today. Like I said, I'm out of town, so I ain't working in the studio like I normally am. But I see Otis. I see Otis got the background going right there. It is tonight.
BDK versus KRS-One.
K.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. For us old heads. And look, I'll be honest, I may be an old head. That was still when I was just getting in, like really, really getting into like rap when KRS and BDK were coming out. So, but yeah, it should be a good one, man. So what y'all think about the battle? Is there anybody you'd rather see battle in there besides KRS and BDK, or do you want one of them gone? What you think, Ahmad? How you feel about it?
I mean, I think it's a good battle with them two. I mean, both two legends, but I'd rather see him battle somebody else. Like, I think Rakim would be a better matchup, to be honest. BDK versus Rakim. BDK. Yeah, I'd rather see BDK. I mean, his music, I think, fits more in the verses than KRS-One does. You know what I'm saying? So, him and
here's the thing.
Him and Rakim.
Does it?
I think so, man.
What you think, Otis? Who would you rather see?
I think I might be okay with this. But honestly, I do think that KRS-One might be a better matchup for Rakim. But that's just me. I never really got into BDK that much, but I never really got into KRS-One either. But he just has those hip hop classics that are just fucking undeniable. Like once you hear them shits, you already know the crowd is gonna be like, oh. But when BDK drops his hits, it's only gonna be the old niggas that's gonna be like, oh.
I don't know how I should take that.
It might
take it the wrong way, but
I mean that's possible.
KRS-One, bro. I'm looking at his list right here. Like MCs act like they don't know. Man, when I was what got me into hip hop was when I first got into hip hop, freestyling at lunch was a big thing, and all the KRS-One's instrumentals were the ones that we used to go off to. MCs act like they don't know, step into a world, the bridge is over. Like that's the shit that niggas used to get off to. I really can't think of a BDK track that niggas used to freestyle to. So my introduction to the older hip hop came from that, and it was mostly KRS-One.
Otis, I'm gonna make you right now go look at BDK lists. Go look up some BDK. I'm gonna say, so honestly, Rakim was first thought, but then I was like, well, Rakim versus KRS would probably be doper. BDK has hits. He does. Don't sleep, man. Ain't no half stepping. It's just one. I know we talked about a couple weeks ago. I was telling people about when I went and saw BDK, and that man was 50 years old and dropped down and did the splits and popped back up.
I mean, he's probably the best performer out of all three.
First of all,
you know what I'm saying? On stage performer, he's probably the best one.
Oh, yeah, easy. But I think this is going to be a little different battle. But it also depends on who's in the crowd. And it's going to be old heads. And you know full well that KRS, as much as he has hits, he's going on there to battle rap. He's going on there to freestyle. He's going to freestyle. He's going to battle. He's going to take shots. Quiet as his cat. All these old heads can battle too. BDKs can battle.
How old is BDK right now?
How old is Jay-Z?
Oh, Jay-Z's 53 or something like that, or 52.
So BDK probably got a couple years on him, I think. By the way, if you're a big Jay fan, you should go and listen to BDK because that's a lot of the influence comes from, a lot of that swag comes. The swag and rapping and all that stuff, a lot of it came from there. Biggie too. Absolutely.
Big Daddy Kane is 53.
53?
53, okay.
Yeah.
So every song he does a split song, he's gonna win. You see, a 53-year-old man doing the splits. Every song he does that on, he gonna win. So
for my money, all he's got to do is one time. If he does it one time, I'll give him a win for the whole thing.
Shit.
That motherfucker might not get up.
Which, look, that's when you do the. Well, I'll give you full disclosure. He's got dancers on each. When I saw him, he had dancers on each side of him. So when he went down and did the splits,
niggas
hands on the shoulder pull, but it was smooth. It was smooth. It was like that. I know in the hip hop group, somebody posted a freestyle BDK performing. He had his mink on, his fur on, and in it he drops the mic, but he dropped it on purpose.
Yeah, that shit was fly.
Like if you see it, it was great. If you see it, he was like. He got in that last word. That last word was hood. And then he fumbled the mic and dropped it. And he picked it up slow, but he picked it up fast enough that it was still on beat. And then he said, drop the mic and still make it look good. And it was, that's BDK's performance. So he might crush KRS-One because he can perform. We saw Jadakiss do it.
Yeah.
Now they got hits. He can perform. But KRS can. The bridge is over.
I mean, talking about that, bro, I don't know if the Locks had hits like that. Like, they had singles. I don't know if them motherfuckers were hits, but it's just when you see them niggas perform that shit, it just hits different. Like, oh, yeah, I remember this song was hard than a motherfucker. What kind of hits did the Locks have? They had a Get Jiggy, or if you think I'm Jiggy, Ride or Die Chick, and fucking Money, Power, Respect, or was that even them? Money, Power, Respect wasn't. Yeah, so it's like,
hold on, man. I'm a Jadakiss you real quick. I got to cut you off. He said, we got songs with J-Lo, bro. We got Grammys. What are y'all talking about? They got hits, bro. They got hits. Just because it was at the height of the West Coast music and the height of the East versus West beat, and y'all didn't, but Ride or Die Shit. I need a Ride or Die Shit. I was in Miami at the time. That shit was popping. They got hits. Don't short them.
No, I was going for the Locks, bro. Like, I think it was Jared that dropped the post. Like, if you going for the Locks, you ain't bathed for 4 days back in high school or some shit like that. Well, yeah, I guess I'm a dirty nigga because I'm rocking with the Locks on this shit.
He probably right. I probably did spend a couple days in high school. But my Timbs was clean. Them strawberry Timberlands I had on was clean though. Nah, I think it'll be a good battle tonight, man. Because you got. Here's my thing. You got two people who are vets. They have certified hits. BDK, for me, is kind of similar to Rakim, where you hear a lot of bars and lyrics and rap over the years that are from him. Like
easily.
And there's little lines that you hear, and you're like, oh, he said that first. So he's one of the most bit rappers, plain and simple. And that's, well, at least he was for that period of time. After he, his style kind of subsided. What's funny is, for me, I look at the BDK and I say, well, he was big, and then he never blew up to where he needed to be because rap was trending. Rap was trying not to do the party, the dance, doing the splits on, popping up. As he was really, really getting towards the top, because 89 was his year, but by 91, 92, it was Nas. It was grimy. It's like, we ain't doing splits no more. We ain't dancing around like that. If you was dancing in 92, you was MC Hammer.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of who BDK remind me of, like MC Hammer / like Rakim. Not quite as lyrical as Rakim, but not as, not, what I'm saying? Like, he's a mixture, like you were saying right now. Like, he was on there dancing. Like, Rakim wasn't dancing like that. KRS-One wasn't dancing like that. You know what I'm saying? They were, mostly bars, and like, BDK was a little bit in the middle. But like you said, he didn't really blow up because I think you're right about, what you just said, that hip hop was getting away from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, was it 92 or whatever, when Dre and them came out with the Chronic? You know what I'm saying? They weren't dancing. You know what I'm saying? It was the West Coast. It was a West Coast takeover at the time, and it was like, gangsters don't really dance like that. It was just like, like more like, slower, beats and everything. And Rakim just didn't fit in that mold. So that might be why he didn't.
So BDK. And to your point on that, that East Coast era was, you could still be smooth and a ladies' man, but be a thug. And you Frank Lucas, them dudes, you didn't mess with them, but they was in furs.
Right.
Little chain, they had a fur on, they this and that. And that was like, you were still considered tough. You may be dressed to the nines, you may have your fur on, a chinchilla, whatever, but that was considered, and on the East Coast, that was like, oh, nah, don't mess with him though. Like he got a fur on and he do the splits. But listen, Jay-Z said the best. 3 cuts in your eyebrow trying to wild out. Talking using Kane. Kane is smooth. I'm the smooth operator and all this, with the ladies. But in reality, Kane a gangster. BDK hood. He gangster. He but he just had that New York, like, I'm still smooth with the ladies. I got my furs on, but I'm hood. And he came up at a time where people were like, nah, gangsters don't dance no more. What you mean? You dancing? You doing the splits, bro? We ain't scared of you. We ain't worried about you. We don't even want you on the screen no more.
Right.
And so he kind of got caught in that period. So I don't think he gets enough love.
Yeah, and I don't think Cassie evolved like that. Yeah, I think he'll be KRS-One. He's a better performer, man. So I think that's what's gonna boil down to. Performance,
the showmanship. But
so hands down.
KRS is a showman too, but he's more of a, like, I'm gonna get the oohs and ahs from my aggressiveness on the mic and what I'm saying, freestyling.
Right. Yeah, but BDK can do that too, and he can perform. So that's why I don't like this matchup. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the matchup because I want to see both of them, but I think Rakim would be a better matchup, in my opinion. I think Rakim has better hits than KRS-One, so that can carry him as well. Plus, his lyrics. I mean, he has more hits than KRS-One. Man, come on.
Otis, I gotta ask, because I got my opinion on it. You think Rakim has more hits than KRS-One?
I think Rakim has more hits than BDK. I don't think he has more hits than KRS-One.
No.
I agree with you, Otis.
All right.
Like I said, I really didn't get too much into that era of hip hop, but just based off of the old school hip hop that I did hear and the shit that was buzzing around with my generation, BDK wasn't buzzing like that. It was KRS-One and it was Rakim.
I mean, here's the thing with BDK. I can say a BDK lyric right now. Which one of y'all gonna chime in? So I'm twinning BDK, but I also understand that, like, if I say whoop whoop, y'all gonna be like, that's the sound of the police. Like, we know that. KRS he's got that on, like, or Black Cop, So he does have hits. He's got hits, but if BDK has dancers that come out.
The only BDK line that comes to mind is what? Put a quarter in your ass because you played yourself. Like whatever. The symphony. That was him on the symphony, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was a dope ass verse. But
I mean, BDK.
I really he doesn't have that many memorable verses or that many memorable songs to me as somebody that's not as old as y'all motherfuckers.
All right.
That's fair. Listen, what it. Hey, let us real quick. Let us know in the comments what you think. Definitely, hop in them comments. Let us know so we can discuss it back with you. I mean, if you think it's a garbage matchup, then you probably 25. But tell us that in the comments. Let us know who you think's going to win, or what you think. By the time you see this, it will have aired. Let us know what you think about the battle. But just let us know in the comments. We always encourage y'all to subscribe and like. I just want to plug us in there real quick.
Yes,
we on YouTube. We got it there. But definitely let us know. It's going to be fun. And it's gonna be a battle, but that's so yeah, man. It's gonna be interesting. I think we all win. It's a win for hip hop. The Verzuz have been a win for hip hop. They've been a win for music. Even Gucci and Jeezy being on stage together, that's a win. That's a win.
Right on.
So as we kind of talk about that era. And that coming up with the era, and we're talking about BDK, and we're talking about KRS-One, one of the more socially conscious rappers of all time.
Right.
My philosophy in the whole nine. It kind of trends towards topic, and DMC of Run DMC came out recently. And Otis, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this because you got the fresher comments going. But DMC has some things to say about the state of hip hop and just the culture in general. Just go ahead and let them know what DMC kind of give us a summation, sum it up for us.
Basically DMC, and I have a feeling that I've seen this video before. I don't know if it's pretty recent or if it's old and it's just recirculating, but he is asking for artists to be a little bit more responsible. And he's just calling out hip hop for what it is now, what it has become. Back in the day, it used to be. It was our antithesis to disco. Disco was all about partying and bullshitting, right, and just fucking around music and just having fun. And people got tired of that shit. And black people kind of used it to inform everybody else about our personal life experiences. And we took the art more serious. It wasn't just about making fun music or selling records. It was about expression and showing unity and showing what we could be, and making something that everybody could identify with. And how it's no longer that. Nowadays it's like you either got to be this or you got to be that, and that's what's going to make you the front man. And there is no, like, what happened to the groups, what happened to the fucking unified front. And man, like it totally resonated with me. Like, a lot of young cats they're not going to feel that, but they need to. They really fucking need to. We've had this conversation in the group plenty of times, and people are just like, oh man, this is just what it is right now. And yeah, I get that. It is what it is right now, but it doesn't make it okay. Because
why does it mean you can't change it?
All we hear is the glorification of bullshit. And now I don't know which rapper it was. This nigga came with a really slick line. Like, yeah, we're not glorifying it. We're just reporting to y'all what happens in the hood. It's like, yeah, that was good. That was cool. Who said that?
Eazy-E.
Okay, that was a good line back in the past. It made sense back then. But when that's all that you hear, it's no longer fucking reporting. It's no longer fucking musical journalism. Right now, like now it's just glorifying. We got songs where niggas are coming out with the list of my dead ops and shit like that. Like, come on, my nigga.
And I kind of was thinking along with the conversation of how DMC was saying about what we're promoting in our music. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, hip hop, rap, you know, obviously battle rap, you know, there's gun bars or whatever, you know, and sometimes like, you know, we're portraying a certain image, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, man, you know, a lot of these things have real life actions associated with them. You know what I'm saying? Like he was saying, like Pac got killed, Big got killed. You know, you think about it, it's not going to stop until we really change what we really talking about, or the message in our music, or what we're doing with the art. You know what I mean? But with that being said, though, it doesn't justify, you know, nobody violating your home or your family. You know what I'm saying? And especially, I mean, it ain't even no real beef. You just on some, you know, on some BS. You know. But what I do want to say on that note is, since we are like, you know, avid hip hop heads, you know, we're fans of the culture, you know, Hitman Holler. I don't know if you guys checked that link out I dropped where he explained the whole situation. But, you know, so he's on the phone, he's on FaceTime with his girl like 5 a.m. You know, he was out of town at a show, and she was like, hey, somebody in here. And at first he was like, I don't know, babe, you might be tripping. You know, she was like, nah. So they start talking, and then she was like, no, it's somebody in here. Like, some people in here. Like, she heard the noise. You know, you just knowing somebody in your house, and she was like, it's getting louder. And so he was like coaching her on what to do. Like, so she grabbed her pistol and ran in the closet and was like, yo, you know, he was like, look, he called his mans up and was like, yo, go to my crib. He picked up his other phone and called his mans up, like, yo, go to my crib. It's going down to my crib, you know. So basically, like, she was saying they got closer, and as they got closer, he was telling her, like, yo, grab the AR. You know, it was like, he wanted her to get the big gun because he didn't want her to be in a shootout with her handgun. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it was like, grab the AR, they already loaded, like, for this kind of reason. So she was hiding in the closet, and she said when they came up in there, he was like, yo, this real life, you got to shoot. Like, you have to shoot. Like, lay them niggas out, you know? So he was like, he heard some gunshots go off, you know, said she started firing, you know, he heard some gunshots go off. He said he heard about 8 rounds or so. But he said after that, like, you know, she dropped the phone, she got hit. You know, obviously, I guess where she was at, she dropped the phone because she said right before that happened, she was on the phone doing this, like, yo, be quiet, like, you know. And so he was saying, like, his brother was telling her, like, yo, don't look at the phone, look at the door, like, pay attention, like, you know. So he was saying, like, some gunshots went off, and a couple moments later, she was unresponsive. Like, he was like on the field, like, hey, babe, what's up? Like, say something, like, you okay? Like, he was getting no response, but he was like, he's all the way, you know, doing a show somewhere else,
1,000 miles away and shit.
Yeah, and so he was saying, like, man, I felt bad because I couldn't do nothing. Like, he was like, I couldn't do nothing about it. Like, I felt really bad, like horrible, you know. And so he was saying after about 4.5 minutes, like, it was just dead silence on the phone. Like, he didn't hang up, you know, but he knew, like, she got hit. Obviously, she wasn't talking. And so he was saying, like, eventually his man arrived, you know, and his man had called him, like, yo, I just saw, he said when he pulled up, he called him, man, was like, yo, I just saw like 4 niggas run out the house. You know what I'm saying? And so he ran up in there, you know, and was, you know, trying to see if homegirl was okay. And he went in there and picked her up and said, Hitman was like, he finally heard her, like, saying, help. You know, like, she got hit, and she was like saying, like, help, I can't feel my legs, like, you know. So he was like, man, had he not called his mans to come over there and check it out, she probably would have died and bled out, you know. And but, you know, God is good. You know what I'm saying? She's recovering. She had a broken neck from what I saw from what he said, you know. But it's just like, and so what he was saying is like, man, you know, if you got an issue with me, come to me about it. Straight up, like, you know where I'm at. I'm doing shows, it's flyers, like, you know how to get to me. Like, you know, my girl had nothing to do with this. Like, that was some coward shit you did. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you definitely know how to get to me. I don't hide. Like, you know, don't, you know, that was just weak. It was terrible, you know. So he was also saying that he was going to sue the security company because they had alarms on the windows, but they don't go off unless you open them from the inside. So he was saying, like, that don't make sense. So he was like, I'm definitely suing, you know, the security place, the security company that's, you know, got the stuff on my crib. Because he was like, you know, who's gonna, like, you know, from the inside?
Yeah. mean, no damn sense.
Granted, like, you know, even in my crib now, like we got them over the doors. You know what I'm saying? Like the crib talks. You know how the security go, the front door. Yeah. You know, so we got that or whatever. And like, you know, I was talking to my lady about it too. Like, man, you know, like if it goes down here, yeah, you go in the closet, you grab my Draco, and you stay in there. Like, you know, you call the cops, and like, you know, I'm gonna give you my pistol, and I'm gonna grab the Draco or something. You know, but you lock yourself up and call the cops. I'm gonna be out here until it goes down. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's real sad and real unfortunate, you know, because like what DMC was saying, like, you know, on one end, it's like we can't necessarily say that we'll avoid things, right? Crime happens, you know, but your image is a lot to do with it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely not trying to say anything that happened he deserved or anything or he asked for it, because no, nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, don't come in my crib when I'm not there, first of all. Like, that's some sucker shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you shoot my woman, you know, like, come on, man. But yeah, that's what's going on with Hitman Holla.
Crazy.
It's crazy, man. Like, definitely good vibes to him. Definitely, I'm glad his girls recovering. But yeah, man, that was crazy.
And you know, I don't know if there's any what kind of background led up to that shit. If they were just trying to get him because they seen him in the battle scene making moves and they was just trying to do something, or if this is some past beef. But it really does all boil down to what DMC said, man. It's just like, I mean, shit, what the fuck happened, bro? Like, when did this image of running in a nigga's house and just shooting the fuck up and shooting anything the fuck up? Like, man, come on, bro. Where are our standards at right now? You know, like we and you know, I really hate hearing white people say this shit, but they ain't fucking wrong. You know, we love to talk about Black Lives Matter, and when a cop kill a nigga, it's a whole different story. But when we kill each other, you know, it's crickets. You know, because you know we don't know, we understand, so on and so forth. But it's like, come on, man, when the fuck are we gonna have each other's back? Why can't you just settle this shit a different way?
Right.
What happened to just beating a nigga's ass? You could stomp this nigga. You could stomp this nigga out. You could fucking beat him to death. What the fuck you got to run up in his house and try to shoot whoever you see first for?
Right.
I don't know, man. I really don't like where we are at as a people, and you know, I wouldn't. And I'm not a full believer in entertainment programming people to behave a certain way, but it is a real thing, and that can happen for the weak-minded. You know, and there's a lot of weak-minded motherfuckers out here that are buying into this shit, man. And I really hate the state of hip-hop. Like, it really is glorifying this shit and making people think that this shit is cool.
And that's crazy because, like, you know, it's influence. I ain't gonna lie, like how we discussed in the Pac episode, like, man, you know, getting shot and like just having guns, you know, it was kind of like the validation. But then again, that's that mindset again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's that mindset again. Like, I have to be the toughest dude, or you know, getting shot is pretty much a benefit to my career or whatever. But it's like, you know, we all know at the end of the day, it's a cycle. It's retaliation is a cycle.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But see, like when we were having our conversation, it was more lightweight validation, but at the same time, when we were talking, it was nothing. We were only talking about defending our homes, you know, but it wasn't talking about like going out and like, yeah, I'm gonna treat this nigga like this if he talked to me a certain way. Like, the fuck, when did that image become cool? Has that image always been cool? Maybe so, you know, because I think that is more of an American problem, because don't forget back when John Dillinger and all them white boys, fucking Lucky Luciano and all them crazy ass white dudes back in the past in the 20s and shit, Depression era, robbing banks and being a mobster, bro, that shit was glorified. That was a cool thing to do, you know, like. Yeah, it still is. I think that's a serious American problem, man. We do have an obsession with our criminals, and it's an unhealthy obsession.
Right. I mean, like you said about like you know, what white people saying about us, and they're not wrong when they say it. I mean, of course, you know, when they say it, you know, they try to be slick about it to defend their own.
Their intentions are different.
Yeah, their intentions are different. You know, I think we can call it out and be healthy about it and say, you know what, we gotta we got to be accountable for the shit we be doing too. You know what I'm saying? The stuff we allow our kids to. I mean, I wouldn't let my kids listen to the stuff I listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like I know that they're young and they can easily be manipulated, by media, by music. You know what I'm saying? Me being older, I'm a little more, why know, what, a little more what to take in and what, what's BS or whatever I can do. But, kids, I mean, they, of course, they shouldn't be listening to that stuff. And you're a parent, you're a good parent, so you make sure your kids don't listen to that. Cause I've seen kids, parents let their kids listen to this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're teaching them at 2 or 3 years old that it's okay to be shooting niggas and doing this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I mean, I know they're characters, you know what I'm saying? They're acting, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't know the difference. Or they like you said, they are influenced by it. And, like this stuff like Lupe said, it becomes the cool.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I mean, we gotta rid this shit.
I mean, I feel like it's only so much though. Like, so I think one of the things that us as like the older generation of hip hop heads, right? Like we've heard so much and only so much more we can hear that sounds the same. Like our main complaint is, man, this sounds the same as, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's only so much. We're looking for content. So like, there's one part to be like, man, y'all not listening to the new heads, this, that, and the other, but it's like, man, we listen to them, but they not bringing nothing we haven't heard before though.
Right.
Like, and I think that's kind of like the point of like, where the conversation gets kind of construed, because it's like, no, like it's okay. Like it might sound cool, but I know somebody else that can do that or say the same stuff better. It's like how we talk about like trap. We talk about trap music. Like so many people talk about when they were selling drugs, but so many people can do it in a different way. Jadakiss talks about selling drugs in a different way than Jeezy talks about selling drugs, right?
Right.
Jeezy talks about selling drugs in a different way than Pusha T talks about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, man, eventually now that it's Benny the Butcher, and it's like, yeah, okay, the Butcher's cool, but eventually, like, you know what I mean? We even say that about Pusha, like, all right, Push, man, you keep talking about that dope, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
And it's like,
I can't even knock the young cats. I mean, because like a lot of young cats that we look at now, they're not young anymore, but they started off like that. You know what I'm saying? But they matured. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all about letting the cat mature too. A cat 19, 20, he's from the streets, or 18 or whatever. He's rapping about that, what what he saw, or maybe he's glorifying or whatever, what he did. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even opposed to that, but of course there has to be a maturation. I don't want to see you at 30 still rapping about that. You know what I'm saying? Like you should have matured by then. You know what I'm saying? Like you 17, 18, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I can't even knock it, but you 30 or 40 years old, because Pusha T is almost 40, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Pusha
T. Cats like that, it's like, come on, man. Like, dude, you know what I mean? You're not even in that life anymore. You know what I mean? But
and I think
it's unfortunate, man.
I think another thing that sucks is what DMC was talking about is like, man, it like your image influences so much, and then it leaks over into other lifestyles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So right, if you want to do this, then go be an actor. Like I say, put the mic down and go be an actor. If you want to portray this person that you're not, or if you want to portray this type of lifestyle, but at the same time, like this type of stuff is influencing other lifestyles, like Chicago. Chicago is crazy. Like that whole 63rd old block, like that long going, like bodies dropping, like like I just saw that they just found, or they just put charges on the people that killed Duck. Like the kid that was killed on 63rd, in broad daylight. They ran up on him in broad daylight, gunned him down. But like, if Chicago and this old block and 63rd thing, they're right around the corner from each other. Like, These kids are in walking distance and they're gunning each other down. Like, you know, Vaughn, like, it's crazy. Like, and then they're making songs about it, like you said, like, now you got these songs where they're calling out, you know, the ops and, you know, it's crazy. It's mess. It's a mess, man.
It's just gonna turn into a fucking battle of one up in each other. Like, okay, you did that, well, I'm gonna do that shit too. And there's gonna be bodies piled up behind it just to make a fucking point.
Right.
Just to make a fucking point. And it's gonna get to a point where these niggas is just gonna wipe each other out. And then whoever they're related to, whoever they're friends with, you know, whoever they have kids, you know, whoever their kids are, is just gonna be a fucking disgusting cycle. And another thing that he said is like, yeah, man, like Pac got shot, Biggie got shot, niggas mourned for a couple weeks. We talked this, yeah, we gotta change shit. And then we just go back to the same old thing, man. It's like the images and the concepts never change. You know, we don't do anything about the conditions that created these problems.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know, man. We're waiting on what are we fucking waiting on? We waiting on the government to fix it? We don't need the fucking government to fix it. The Black Panthers
fix it anyway.
They ain't trying to fix it. And we got the blueprint of how to do this shit. The Panthers have done this shit in the past. Like, yeah, we come together, we take care of each other. We don't fucking need the government for anything. People don't need the fucking government at all. If we just learn how to put our greed, if we learn how to put our greed aside and take care of each other, value each other's lives as much as we value our own, nigga, we can fucking thrive. We can thrive. We won't just make it, we will thrive. I don't know what the fuck we're waiting on, man. What the fuck is it gonna take? Is it gonna take the right song? Like, come on, what the I don't know, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, man. You know, on those lines, I want to say another problem we have is we're not backing the people that are singing in different tone. You know what I mean? So like obviously like what we say now, like where's Kendrick Lamar? Like seemed like Kendrick Lamar just like he on hiatus or something. But like for a while, Kendrick Lamar was like on something, you know. And it's crazy because I felt like he got discouraged because he saw how like phony and like, you know, how superficial things really are in like the industry. Like, you know, you hear him and just talk about like, man, you know, you grow up and you're inspired, and then you get into this game and this industry and it's trash.
Right.
You know, it's like a letdown, you know, but at the same time, you got to be that breath of fresh air though, because you know what you're bringing. Like same thing with Lupe Fiasco. Like I think he ran into some trash in his labels and they want him to make music that they want him to make. He got discouraged, you know, like, so I think part of that.
He talks about that in what's that song? The one with Jay-Z. He talks about that, but yeah.
I don't think there will be a fresh air, man. This nigga, oh yeah, the lights fucked up. This nigga Nipsey was supposed to be untouchable, bro. And he got touched by a nigga in his own hood. Like that I think that's one problem. Like nobody's untouchable anymore. That was the guy dropping a new message. Like, yeah, he's giving you both. He's giving you that shit that's popular right now, that gun talking, yeah, kill a nigga, you know, don't disrespect me type shit. But he's also giving keys. Like, if you listen to his interviews, like he's just doing nothing but dropping knowledge. Even in his songs, he's dropping knowledge. And he got touched in his own fucking hood, you know. And it's, I mean, shit, bro. Like, if that nigga can get it, then it's like, who the fuck is off limits? Right. You know. We really don't give a fuck about protecting anybody that's actually doing anything that can benefit us or saying things that can benefit us right now. I mean, shit, bro. What the fuck is it gonna take?
Yeah,
you would think that would be the straw, the last straw. You would think that Nipsey would have been the last straw for people to be like, man, we got to do something.
Yeah, that right there's got to be the most unfortunate situation in hip hop history, man. But when you think about, like, you know, he, like you said, his own hood, but he was also, you know how cats talk about during the hood, like he was in it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like really trying to build and do stuff, and like cats always say like, oh, why you move out of the hood? Why you over there with the white folk doing all this? But then, you know, cat does, you take him out, and it's like, like shit. Why you know, why wouldn't they want to now? You know what I'm saying? Especially a cat like that, like you said, should have been untouchable. Nobody should have touched Nip. You know what I'm saying? Man. But
you know, another thing you got to think, like, man, you know, greed and the jealousy. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot
that's
of people,
always going to be there, yeah.
Yeah, and that, that's kind of part of that too. Like, we all got nice things, we all can have things or whatever, but you don't know what it took for that person to get that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe this person did some things that you wouldn't, and that's okay. You're like, that's okay, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Find out what it is for you. You know what I mean? Like, ain't nothing in this world you can't have. There's nothing that's made that's not for you. Like, you can have anything you want, a Rolls Royce, a mansion, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like, what does it mean to you if you want to get it in a jealous intent, or you want to be greedy about it, or you want to take it from somebody? You don't want to work for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of reminds me of the era where it was snatching chains. Like, oh, I got such and such chain. You got to pay me for it or whatever. It's just for bragging rights. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't wear it. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? It's just like, but then again, there was that hip hop culture, that was like, even we hear West Side Gun talk about it, 10 chains on one neck or whatever, but it's like, even that part of the culture of us just being flashy and gaudy, right? It's crazy how we like a lot of music where they talking about how rich they are and how broke we are. And we love it, right? Like, we love it though.
Nigga, I'm rocking my dad's chain, bro. This is a motherfucking hand-me-down. Like, this ain't nothing right here, but you damn right I'm listening to a nigga talk about his medallions and shit.
Right. So right. Oh man. But yeah, man, that DMC definitely was talking about some real stuff, man. He compared it to the disco. Now, I wasn't around for the disco era, but from what I know about disco now, it kind of was like he was saying, today's kind of just, folks just
party and bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I think DMC hit on a lot of points, you know what I'm saying? And I think we all kind of agree. But one thing he didn't really, at least I didn't hear him say, maybe I missed it. He didn't go into like how the previous generation, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, it's kind of like they're at fault too. You know what I'm saying? For, not like, taking care of the torch or whatever and like passing it on correctly. If you look at like a lot of what the previous generation did, taught irresponsibility, cats weren't raising their kids, leaving the house, having, multiple women, uh, having babies by multiple women, and not being there for their kids. I mean, that's part of it too. And, just also glorifying that. I mean, that's some things he didn't really touch on. I feel like it's a more a social problem. Of course, hip hop, kind of like breeds that or whatever. Like, it comes from culture or whatever. But there's a lot of stuff that he didn't touch on that I think we can't really put all the blame on new artists.
Okay, so I gotta kind of disagree with you there, because a lot of it has to do with the way that we were policed. So yeah, during that time there were a lot of drug dealers going on. There was a lot of drug dealers around, but there was a big difference between selling crack and selling cocaine.
Of course.
And the penalties that came along with it. So the law took people away from their families much longer than they should have. Not making excuses for the people that made that choice.
Right.
But they did also catch a bad rap at the end of it all. And when it comes to like, cats having multiple families and shit, I mean, that isn't just a black problem,
No, it's not. No. That's a problem. I think that's all over. But I'm just speaking in terms of, we talking about our community, what I'm saying, and we're talking about policing ourselves up and like doing, stuff that we need to do in our community, like looking in the mirror, so to speak.
Yeah.
I don't feel like DMC looked in the mirror enough, like and looked at some of the older cats who came before him and became before us, or became before the cats who are rapping now. And I do agree with you. Of course, we're police different. You got more time for crack than you did for cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Just some things like, what do you call white crimes or whatever. You know what
White
I'm
collar.
saying? White collar
Oh
crimes.
no, I do know what you mean. Though. Yeah, there is
Yeah.
white crimes too. There are white crimes.
Right. Yeah, and they weren't getting penalized like we were. No, I agree with that. I'm speaking on just like like cats not being responsible. You know what I'm saying? Like even like when we talked about this before, but when I was growing up, we listened to some of the music. You had Too Short, NWA, all these cats coming out and they curse in their music. Before a lot of cats didn't curse, like Run DMC, Rakim. They didn't really curse like that. Rakim didn't curse ever. Run DMC, I don't think. Maybe like a few words, but cats started cursing. Like my dad and like some of the other guys would say, like, "Oh, that's not real music. That's blah blah." But in some of their songs, they would have some of those things too. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I mean, it's just music at the end of the day. But I'm saying, if cats aren't looking in the mirror and saying, "Okay, what did we do to raise this generation? Where did we miss out? What did we do wrong?" I think everybody has to look in the mirror and say, "Okay, what part do I have in this?" And then we could hopefully fix it. But we just like saying like, "Oh, you know it's these cats." You know what I'm saying? They're not doing their job, blah blah. When you got older cats, I guess I'll be considered an older cat to some of these new guys, right? They 19, 20. I'm old enough to be their dad, so I'll be considered an older cat. So I feel like I'm responsible too. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff that I've done. I mean, I didn't raise any kids or whatever. I have 2 kids that I know of. I may have a kid out there I don't know, but
Yeah, I might have one in Alaska I don't know about.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, cats my age, we gotta take responsibility too. And cats that came before us, I mean, they raised us, so they gotta take responsibility too. In order for us to like really fix it, because if cats like DMC's age are constantly blaming young cats, they're not gonna listen. You know what I'm saying? But we come together and say, you know what, hey man, we all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And we apologize for our lack of guidance in the younger generation or whatever. Then maybe that's something that we can possibly
So
start
I
to
do
fix.
agree with you. I do agree with you there, but also, the music that these cats were making, it kind of ties into what we were talking about with the DJ episode. How DJs were no longer the ones to promote these songs. They were kind of spoon fed, like, yeah, this is the list that you need to stick with. You may be able to dive outside this list here and there, but when it comes to radio play or fucking making or VJs, video jockeys,
Right.
you gotta play this strict list. And I think that the songs like The Message and shit along and Self-Destruction and things like that, I don't know, man. I don't know if we considered it corny, or if the rappers just took a cornier approach to making it, or if the labels made the decision to stop pushing that message. But a lot of that shit fell to the wayside. Like, cats just stopped making that kind of music, and I'm not saying that it's non-existent, but it's very few and far between. Like, in the midst of last year, the 2020 police reform protests, I mean, who the fuck else besides Lil Baby made a song like The Bigger Picture? And that was a perfect time for all of the rappers to come on board and talk about the same shit that's been plaguing every fucking black community. Right. And only one of the biggest niggas did that shit. Right. Like, we need more shit like that. And I felt that song too. That's one of my favorite songs by Lil Baby. Maybe it's just because I'm an old head that needs something different. But like, what happened to that? What happened to cats actually putting out the message that we need to hear? Like, yes, you can report on what's going on, but also don't make it self-destructive. Like, point the finger in the right direction. Don't just say like, yeah, I'm the nigga with the gun. I'm the nigga that's laying my enemy down. Like, no, talk about the fucking cops that's doing it too. Talk about the terrible shit that's going on in your neighborhood that needs to stop. Don't just talk about the shit that makes you sound cool or makes you look good.
Right.
Yeah, that was the perfect opportunity for a lot of people to capitalize on that shit. Nobody did that shit. One fucking artist comes to mind. Just one.
Right.
It's a goddamn shame.
They have they have tweets now. So they feel like, if they tweet it out. No, I'm just saying. I know. Everybody has everybody has their like, oh, you know what? I posted about it. So therefore, hey, I'm a social justice advocate. You know what I mean? Or I'm about it because I did this, but reality, that's the easy way out. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to be like, you know what, I'm gonna tweet about, like a lot of these guys, of course, will tweet about the police because that's easy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's easy to go against the police. It's not there's no repercussions as an artist to go against the police. You know what I'm saying? But if you go against some of the stuff that's happening in your neighborhoods, like, hey man, we need to clean this shit up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get right, or let's do this. You know what I'm saying? Like now you're not looking at the cool guy anymore who's going around toting the guns. Now you look like the guy who's like trying to like like bring some kind of peace, and that's not cool. You know what I'm saying? And that is a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely a problem.
Yeah, I think to touch on that too, another thing that's not being addressed is how we are handling our women. You know what I mean? I think our community of Black, we talk a lot about Black love, you know what I'm saying? But we have a lot of healing to do in our community as far as how we communicate with each other, male and female.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously, like, it's been influences. You've had the man bashing music. You've had the bitches ain't shit. And I honestly, like, but then at the same time, we got hoes in different area codes, so it's like, then you got the whole song, you a hoe, it's that other. And so it's like,
ain't no fun if the homies can't have none.
You know what I'm saying? So we're promoting the promiscuous stuff, right? Or we're making, we're glamorizing, right? We're saying like, hey, if I hit it, I'm just gonna share it with my boys. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, be like, man, I ain't, like, I'm cool. Like these chicks ain't nothing but some freaks. She for the streets. Now we don't want to be monogamous. Now we're not even interested like being real stand up like family men or headed that direction. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I get it. It takes a while. It takes a lot of maturity, but it comes with a different mindset. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, man, like, we have a construed perception of our women, and our women got a construed perception of us. And now we're using the same stuff as endearing. You can't call her a beaver. She'll call her friend like, yeah, me and my bitch went out. Like,
you can't even call these bitches females anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's like, man, like, so I think a part of that in our music is, we have to pretty much taper or straighten up how we communicate with our women. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy because, like, when you say this stuff, it's like, man, I don't love these hoes. It's like, they're not all hoes. Like,
right.
You got a mom, you got a sister, right? If you cared about them, you wouldn't want no dude like running your people, your sister, your mom through the dirt, like
right.
Having a, taking her somewhere and slutting her out. Like, come on, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so, just to touch on that, like our social thing, like how you said, TKO, like, the social aspects of things is definitely affecting how we communicate in our community with our women or just gender,
Yeah.
Toxic behavior is praised and applauded nowadays, man. Like, whenever that nigga Future, you see the Future memes and shit. Like, yeah, it's funny as hell, it's entertaining, but niggas really aspire to do that shit. Like we aspire to be that. These women aspire to be like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. Like, nah, that's an extreme view. That's an extreme version of what a woman is supposed to be or what a man is supposed to do. Like that's not how the average person is supposed to act, and a lot of average motherfuckers who never really like a lot of square ass people, like they adopt these personalities, like that's going to make them cool. And I don't know, man, like, do you really like doing this shit? If you want to be a hoe, then be a hoe. But if you're doing that shit and you secretly hate yourself inside, then come on, man, like you got to realize there's a problem there,
Insecurities. You know what I'm saying? And people like act out. I mean, this one kid, I asked him, he's like, he said his girlfriend's pregnant. And I was like, oh yeah, okay, that's cool, man. What are you guys having? He said a bitch.
Oh, damn.
I'm just joking. just touching on what you guys were saying, but that's how disrespectful kids are towards the opposite sex. It's crazy, man.
Yo, man, it's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh shit.
Man, yo. Yeah, but yeah, man.
But hey, I wouldn't be surprised if a kid said that, man. I wouldn't be
Real
surprised
love,
at
man.
all. You know what I'm saying? That's how much of a a loss of respect we have. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, that shit took me out, bro. That's funny as fuck.
It's crazy, man.
It's like our expectations of, women, and they have theirs of ours. Like, we supposed to just cash out, like, you're not buying this and buying that and this, that, and the other. And, I let them smash to get my rent paid and this, that, and the other. Like, man, it's like, it's crazy out here, man. Like, crazy out here.
And so it kind of, that's another thing that DMC said, is that there's a lack of responsibility. So it's a lack of responsibility on the artist, and it's a lack of personal responsibility on the listener.
I think you do. I think on that though, because right, this music is an experience. The experience of music is the artist and the listener.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it go. Like communication is one person sending and the other person receiving, right? So I think that even how, Eminem says, like, man, don't blame me for this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't, 50 even said one of his songs, like, Shorty Mama think it's my fault because he listened to Back Down. Like, so it's like, okay, we do have a responsibility. You have a responsibility as a listener to understand that you're not this person.
Right.
And secondly, like, this person is making this music out of an expression.
Right.
This is not how they feel every day, all day. You know what I mean? Like,
and yeah, as you know what, and that's also in line with what Ahmad said, with what TKO said. Like, we gotta, God damn it, we gotta as parents, we gotta make sure that our kids aren't taking this trash in. Like, man, my girl, she really is a pretty irresponsible, because her parents were irresponsible with the way that, they didn't shelter their kids at all. I'm like, you got to have a little bit of shelter in there. So, my daughter would be on YouTube exploring music and shit, and she's put me, my fucking daughter, even at 4 years old, put me on to some dope songs. But then there are some things where she's coming across, and I'm just like, yeah, this no. You're not doing this anymore. She's not allowed to watch music videos. Like, there are some songs that aren't bad for her to listen to, but when you look at the videos, it's just nothing but shaking ass and shit. Like, no, you don't need to even think that this is cool. You can listen to the song, you can't watch the video. And yeah, man, there does need to be some responsibility with the parents and what their kids are taking in. And the point that I lost earlier was about the lack of responsibility with the artist and the listener is like what DMC said, that they announced more, like, it was just a couple years ago that hip hop was the #1 genre. And they announced that shit when it was at its most disrespectful and ignorant stage. Like, we don't have any positive messages coming out like that. Rappers like Lupe and Common, they fall to the wayside, and shit like Future, Cardi B, that's what is applauded and most praised. And that is when they want to announce that hip hop is the #1 genre. Like, okay, so when artists hear this shit, they need to they need to acknowledge why. Why is it right now that we're #1, and what messages are we putting out as we sit at the top of this mountain? If we're only putting out shit and trash and destructive messages, well then let's do a little better on our parts then. Mm-hmm. And people are so willing to buy albums and promote albums with the same old shit, and that's one of the reasons why things will never change, is because, like, Future can have a whole album of sipping lean and getting fucked up and not have any song like contradicting that statement on why it's not cool. Like, yeah, I'm getting fucked up, yeah, I'm doing this, but this is what it's doing to me in the long run. This is how I feel now on the day after my come down. Like, you don't hear that anymore.
It's a lot of mood music.
Yeah, and it's all fucking it's all a fucked up mood music.
That's because they know, man. These kids don't have long attention spans. Like, they don't have a long attention span at all. Like,
no, you know what? It's crazy that you said that, because I played the song. It was like we were outside at my school. You know what I'm saying? The teacher next door. We were like, talking and everything. And I was like, don't this like? It was like a lot of chaos going on. And so I was like, don't this remind you of this song? So I started playing the song. It was Welcome to the Jungle. You know what I'm saying? Then there was a student right there.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, and
Okay.
she's like, when is the song gonna come on? You know how the beginning has like an intro, it's warming up. You know what I mean? She's like, when's the song gonna come on? She's a teenager. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, they don't have patience for it. It has to be like immediate. Like the song has to come on, and they have to be like already into it. That's kind of how the baby does, right? Like it's like as soon as the beat drop, he's like, he's like in it, and like you said, the attention span is like so short, man, and not that we were better kids than these kids growing up or kids were better 100 years ago. I just think that the stuff that we have access to, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I feel like it's taken away from what we're capable of as human beings. Like, I would go when I was younger, I would go, go to the club or whatever. I didn't have a cell phone. We didn't have cell phones back then. You know what I'm saying? So how would I get numbers? I'll memorize them sometime.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like cats ain't memorizing numbers anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, or whatever. If I didn't have a pen or whatever, I'd be like, just tell me, I'll remember it. I'll remember it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't memorizing numbers anymore.
You have to remember daddies. You just have daddies.
When I was a kid, you know what I'm saying, we had the tape cassettes. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to get that song, you had to pause it, press record, wait for that commercial to go off, and you caught that song. You know what I mean? Now they can just go on Spotify, boom, or YouTube. Song is right there if they want to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's like they have so much access to stuff that they don't even know how to understand how to wait and like how to like sit back and just enjoy something. You know what I'm saying? Their phones are instant gratification, man. This is a camera, communication device. What else? I mean, everything you could think of, you could do on this phone.
Hey, what she say? What she saying? Fifth Element, nigga. Multipass.
everything is in this little device. You got access to the world in this little device.
But and here's the thing though. With that, people are still ignorant.
They choose to be nowadays
because it's the Wild West. You can post anything in this thing, right? So while you have this $1,000 device in your back pocket or whatever, you can still be misled. It can still be BS and ignorance on it, right? So it's like and now basically now people aren't even listening to projects in their entirety. I want to hear the singles. I'm gonna download the singles. I want to hear the singles. That's it. So that's like certain artists, you have to have their whole album. They don't even release singles or ringtones or whatever, right? You know what I mean? Because it's like, man, this is part of a whole project. Can you imagine like listening to something like Good Kid, Mad City, and it's kind of just broken up? You know how like the skits and stuff in it actually goes along with the, it's a picture. You know what I mean? It's a whole piece of art project,
right?
And now these kids, they don't, a lot of times, or even like, I've been around people like, oh man, I ain't never heard the whole album, but these songs fire. Like, bro, this album been out 4 years. Like,
man,
what? Like, so you don't listen to this artist? You know what I mean? Like, I listen to them. Like, oh yeah, well, which album was, which one you like? Oh man, I don't even listen to his albums.
Just the singles. That's it.
Like what?
What? Hey, you know what though? I'm low key guilty of that shit myself, and I don't know if it's my attention span or if the music is just too much of the same. But the Donda and the Certified Lover Boy albums were hard as fuck to get through, and I used to be able to listen to a whole Redman album in one sitting, and he had over 20 songs, with songs and skits. Maybe it's because of the lack of skits. I don't know, but yeah, man. It's something there. I wouldn't say it's just on the kids and their attention span. It's something there. It's something else, and it's definitely related to the music.
Yeah, I think what you're explaining is, that's the artist. You got to put something together that's gonna flow to get you to listen to it. Okay. So I get that too. That ain't just you. If you putting out something that's not flowing.
That CLB was that CLB was like it's like a full-time job trying to get that for real. I mean,
Yeah.
in my TA, she's like a big Drake fan, and I was just like that. I was like, it's trash, and she's like, she kind of got offended, and I was like, it is. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie just because it's Drake and say it's good just because it's just because it's Drake. I'm like, he doesn't have one good single. She even liked that song. Was it Too Sexy? She even liked that one. And I was like, that song is trash. But
that song is garbage, bro.
Man, and I was like, he doesn't even have. Usually Drake has at least one radio hit where you can be like, okay, this gets some radio play. You know what I'm saying? It comes on, you're like, okay. You get annoyed with it after a while, but you can at least be like, okay, this is cool. You don't even have one of those on that, and I was like, it was hard to get through because that's kind of what he depends on. That one radio hit carry you through, but he doesn't even have that.
You made me feel better about myself then. Thank you.
Oh, why is that?
Because I thought it was just me and my attention span, but it's nice to know that these niggas are just trash.
Because the Donda, I mean, it was just so long and it was like it was all over the place. I get it. It was a tribute to his mom.
There never needs to be a 27-track album unless it's a double disc, and if it's a double disc, you got to have variety on that shit.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
But hey, so back to DLC. So how do y'all feel about him saying that there's no more groups? It's all about the frontmans, and like we used to show our strength in numbers, but now it's all about the one guy who has the most, and he sort of like keeps the other dudes under his wing. Do you think what effect do you think that has on hip hop and hip hop viewers and fans?
Man, that's good because I'm kind of like, I kind of see it both ways, right? Like you got somebody that's pretty much wherever you from. Let's say the Potluck gang, we became a music group, right? Now you already know like the fans are going to listen to whoever their favorites are.
Right.
We might have 1 million fans, but we might only have 250,000 a piece as far as like saying that, that we're their favorites. Right. We got 1 million fans split up 4 ways. A quarter of them saying I'm their favorite, a quarter of them saying they're your favorite, whatever, right? But here's the thing though, just like how you had with David Ruffin and the Temptations, or you know what I mean? Like you kind of got that going on. And when that happens, that kills the group. So when
I made y'all asses.
You know what I mean? So, right. Right. And so and it's like, man, but to what he was saying though, it is strength in numbers, because his point was, it's strength in numbers. So if we're all singing this as a tune versus one person, if you got a group full of Kendricks or a group full of J. Cole's, you know what I'm saying, then the strength in numbers will be able to push more barriers, But at the same time, like you'll have a group and it's really only like one of them that's really good, and it's just
lunatics.
Yeah.
So it's like
Queen.
it becomes a question of what you gonna do when you that dude in the group and you kind of know the group is holding you back on your success. Like, man, like, you know what I mean? Like, What if Jeezy didn't leave Boys in the Hood?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We all 100%. Know Flavor Flav. We know Flavor Flav was just on the ride with Public Enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that one's more like a 50-50 thing. I feel that.
Yeah. I mean, he was in the group, DMC. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, of course, he may be a little more biased towards the groups. That's what he was using. You know what I mean? But, I mean, I think this is something that's been going on for a long time. Look at Diana Ross and the Supremes. The stuff that I heard that she was doing was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like how she was like treating those other women who were in the group, the Supremes. You know what I'm saying? Look at Beyonce, Destiny's Child. I heard some stuff about her too. Like she was kind of low-key, kind of scandalous too. Let me see.
Yo, nigga, there was a Drew Hill reunion performance. I can't remember what award show it was. This shit killed me. This nigga Cisco. He was like, yeah, this is Jazz, this is Nokia, this is Woody, and we are Cisco.
Hey,
like, damn, nigga.
He wasn't lying though. He wasn't lying.
Oh man,
I didn't
respectful.
Like that's like
yeah.
That's not even like I thought it was Drew Hill. Like,
right.
Oh, we're not Drew Hill no more.
Oh, we're just you. We're just an extension of you.
Oh, we're not.
Oh, that shit killed me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that's just something that's been going on for since the beginning of time. We all want to be immortalized some kind of way, right? Remembered. We want to pass on a legacy, all kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so like if you're in a group and you're really good, and other cats are sketchy, and you got people in your ear like, hey man, I'm saying, you gotta either lead these bozos. You know what I'm saying? They ain't on your level. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that plays a part in it too. You got people, saying what you should be doing, people in your ear, but also just, and maybe sometimes people just be like, you know what? You guys suck. I'm good. I'm just gonna do my own thing. You know what I mean? Because I don't think a really good artist should stay with a garbage group. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's gonna. I mean, especially like remember. Well, I'm not gonna say they were garbage. Like, but R. Kelly and Public Announcement. I mean, imagine if R. Kelly never branched out on his own. I mean, look at all the great. Well, maybe he would have stayed out of trouble, but I don't know.
Maybe there would have been more pedophiles in the streets.
Right?
Four more niggas touching kids.
Oh man.
Maybe it's good he got away from them.
Yeah.
I mean, people gotta bring, and that's the thing. And so it's like, man, it seems like it's more pressure on a solo artist, but it might be more pressure on a group because everybody got to hold that weight. Like, everybody's not a Wu-Tang Clan. Not to say that all 9 of them was banging, but
yeah, I was about to say
at least 5 out of 9. You know what I mean?
Even Wu-Tang Clan ain't a Wu-Tang Clan.
Like at least 5 out of 9 you can listen to. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like about Griselda. That's what I like about Griselda. Like, I can listen to them together. I can listen to them individually. You throwing some Benny, I'll rock with a few tracks. You throwing some West Side, I'm down. Throwing some Conway, I'm cool with it. I still have my favorite, which is West Side. But I'm pretty much satisfied with the whole group because, like DMC was saying, like, you got to get a group that's singing along the whole tune, that's carrying the weight.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
You definitely want 10 Lions, right? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like once you get influenced, you get one person in the group and make them feel like they bigger, then that's when the record labels and stuff are able to kind of break that down. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's too many. Can you imagine, like, if it was just like a 10 people just on this pro-black stuff and they just dropping like 10, like I said, 10 Kendrick Lamar's, like a group of people that was all on some Kendrick Lamar and some J. Cole, and they just dropping this pro-black music. Like, come on, man. Like,
I don't know, my nigga. I don't know if that'd be such a bad thing. Like, if people have been, I wouldn't say brainwashed, but conditioned in a way to take 10 or 30 fucking artists in a row dropping nothing but toxic shit, and we all vibing with it. Like, I mean, shit, bro. I'd rather take the nonstop pro-black, release happening. Give me that shit.
Yeah. So right. That wouldn't be a bad thing, but right, as far as the change we need, like, yeah. So if we take a Griselda
but I get what you mean, though.
Yeah, if we take a Griselda and switch their tune, the way they taking over, with their music now, like, it's crazy, man, because you get one person or, one person sell more or something. Like, even like Migos is cool, But I really only rock with like Offset. You know.
You know what? Takeoff is my favorite. That nigga dope as hell. That nigga, if you can actually get through some of the fast rapping, like and quote unquote mumble shit that he's getting through, man, that nigga actually got little bars here and there. Takeoff can spit.
Okay.
I fucks with them niggas, bro. Like they are pretty dope. Even though they get a bad rap. Yeah. Migos is like one of the dopest so-called mumble rappers out right now.
Yeah, they all right. They're all right with me. You know, they had to grow on me a little bit though, but you know, I've gotten to appreciate what they do, basically. So
are there any?
I fucks with them.
Are there any artists that you really identify with nowadays?
What do you mean?
Like who you are as a person through and through? Are there any artists that really speak to you and your personality?
I want to say, yeah, possibly, yeah. So I want to say, like, damn, that was a good question. So I want to say, obviously, like I like J. Cole. Now, honestly, like me and J. Cole, we got a lot of parallels personally, like throughout his music. Of course, he's from Carolina, I'm from Carolina. We're both from the same city. You know what I mean? I actually met him, you know, when we were in school before he was J. Cole, right? No, but his stories of being like a mix, like, you know, growing up, him and his mom in the city, domestic violence and stuff like that, like, you know, but at the same time, like, he doesn't have to rap about being a dope boy and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? I think that the stories that he tell, or even how some of the things he described in his music, like, since I'm from where he's from, like that's real to me. You know what I mean? So in that aspect, yeah, that speaks to me. If you're talking about like how I relate to him, like, yeah, we're from the same city. Like, you know, he pretty much left home and had to deal with his mom, like, you know, mourning, you know, or coming back after being successful and, you know, kind of being like, man, he lost the crib, or, you know, she just wasn't in the place that he thought she would be. You know what I mean? Even how he talked about how, like, forgot the song on Forest Hill when he's like, I need to treat you better, you know, like stuff like that, you know. So like for like me, because I went off into the Navy or whatever, and like when I left home, I was in a rebellious phase. You know what I'm saying? Like I went through some stuff as a kid, and I was rebellious in high school, and I just wanted to get away from home. And so like for a long time in the military, I didn't even contact like my mom or nothing. Like I was out deployed and stuff. Like when I left home, I felt like I was running away. You know what I mean? I wanted to be away from everything and everybody. You know what I mean? And I think eventually, like, as I grew older, you know, it kind of wasn't the best thing to do because I just up and left. You know what I'm saying? So I think, you know, in certain things he talked about, like, you know, with his relationship with his mom and stuff, you know what I mean? I identify with that a little bit, you know. I think that I like West Side Gun, right? Because now obviously, you know, he's different. I feel like I'm different. I feel like I'm dope. I feel like, you know, I have the attitude that, yeah, I'm the dopest. Like, you know, I think I could walk around in a mask in a Balenciaga jacket. Like, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if you know West Side Gun for real, he's a real like stand-up dude, you know, even in his like interviews and stuff, you know, and he says what he want to say too at the same time. Like, I'm that person too. Y'all know that. Like, I say what I want to say. I do what I want.
That's why you top five.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm dope. Like, you know what I mean? Anybody don't like it, that's on them, you know. But yeah, I think, you know, I think just a couple artists I may identify with just on my attitude, you know.
What about you, Ahmad? How you feel about that? Where you at with it?
Oh man, I mean, I would have to say Kendrick. I mean, you know, a lot of stuff you said. I mean, we're from the same area. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Linwood. I mean, and you know where he's from in Compton. I mean, this city next door. I'm like, I mean, not too far. So like, you know, some of the stuff he talks about in his music. You know, some of the locations. I mean, I'm just familiar with. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he named streets. I mean, I get this vibe with that, and you know, like, of course, you know, you get that image in your head when you start listening to someone. and you hear this stuff they name off in the streets. You're like, and you just have an image of your head of you rolling through those same streets. You know what I'm saying? You walking through those same streets or whatever. So definitely Kendrick, and then was it the Good Kid, Mad City? It was one of those skits. I want to say it was after the first one, the first song, because the second song is "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe," right? On that one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the song before that. At the end is a skit. He's talking about his dominoes.
Yeah.
Bring
Okay.
my motherfucking dominoes. He kind of reminds me of my dad, and how he used to yell and just curse and all that kind of stuff. So I was definitely feeling that. Taking the car, doing that stuff, same stuff. Kendrick was doing. I was doing that when I was younger. Taking the car, you know what I'm saying? Taking a van. My mom doesn't sound like Kendrick's mom, but my dad sounded like Kendrick's dad. But taking the van and doing stuff, yeah, that was, what I'm saying, that was me too. But or taking the car or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I would have to say Kendrick. I mean, just because he's a West Coast artist, close to home. Some of the stuff that he talks about, I can relate to. The gangs and just some of the stuff that he saw. I wasn't in the gangs. You know what I mean? But like if I were a rapper, I'd be able to tell a story about it because I saw it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I saw the gang, I saw the drugs, all that stuff, being done. And of course, we grew up in the poverty, in the area, poverty area, or what do you call it, below poverty line or whatever the area, inner city, whatever you want to call it. So I mean, the stuff that he raps about, and I can relate. I would say Kendrick.
Well, that question goes out to the audience too. Whoever you feel like you can relate, and drop that shit in the comments and give us a reason why if you feel like it.
That's crazy.
But that's one of the things that DMC said, and I kind of understood what he was saying, but that was mainly from speaking from a majority point of view, because at the end of the day, everybody he said that we don't see ourselves in what we behold. We got to kind of step outside of ourselves just to become that. And that was one of the things that he said that I do disagree with. Everybody's got somebody that they can relate to. There's just way too, and because music is so accessible right now, you don't even have to rely on a mainstream artist to find that one that you can connect with. Right. But yeah, man, I thank y'all for answering that.
What about you, man?
As much as I don't like his music, J. Cole, just because he's like, it's just regular nigga shit. Like, I really ain't got nothing too I really don't have too many spectacular stories going on with me, but yeah, man, it's just real life type stuff, man. And you know what? As much as I don't like underground music, the homie shot me some tickets to an Atmosphere concert. He wasn't able to make it. Atmosphere is an underground rapper, White Cat too. And bro, like that was, man, I really fucked with that music. I don't listen to it on my own, but that was like one of the few times at a concert where it's like, okay, I'm listening to something new and I'm vibing with everything this dude's saying, because this whole thing, he just had like a dad rap album and I just had my kid and he's just rapping all the shit that I can relate with, That was another artist that I really connected with. And I'm a joker, man. I like to clown and shit. That's one of the my whole Riff Raff thing. That was more of a troll for the group, but I fuck with Riff Raff because he, he's a fucking clown, bro. He just jokes. A lot of his shit is just stuff you can laugh at, and that's why I liked him. I wouldn't call him a great rapper, but I like the shit that makes me smile. I like the shit that makes me feel like I can have a good time and escape the bullshit. And a lot of the music nowadays is just kind of like a reminder of the bullshit that I listen to music to escape, But man, there's a few different artists out there, but yeah, most important, but for the most part, it's really just J. Cole. It's funny that you brought up Still in the Car, bro. Just a side story. I stole my mama's car once to go pick up some weed. I told her that we were gonna play poker, but we were just gonna buy some weed. It was like at midnight, and I picked up the homie from. I'm on the west side, on like 50th West. I picked up the homie from 50th East, and QC. So we were both on the way to go see the weed man, and we ducked off on this back street. there were no street lights or whatever. It's just a dark street, bro. And I got a phone call from this chick I was messing with, and I ignored it.
Oh man.
And yeah, bro, it all adds up though. So, and then I was looking through the iPod. Yeah, throw it back just to let you know how long ago this was. I was looking through the iPod for a song, and Q was like, "Hey, man, nigga, give me the iPod so you don't fuck around and crash." So I gave this nigga the iPod, and as I'm driving, we come around this bend, and I see something in the street. I'm like, "Oh shit, is that a plastic bag or what the fuck is that?" And I'm moving like 50, 60 miles an hour. And as I get closer, I'm like, oh shit, that's a person. I swerved real quick, and I got out the lane, and then I swerved back into my lane. I overcorrected. Nigga, when they say like life moves in slow motion when you're going through some shit, that is for real, bro. I was able to see this bitch's face. She was stone cold, ready to kill herself. She didn't even blink when the car came up on her like that. So yeah, man, like I overcorrected when I got back into my lane. We spun out, drove through a fence, and when the fucking dust settled, the lights were shining on the sign that said Jesus loves you. We were in a fucking junkyard, just trash cars all over the place, and for some fucking reason there's a sign posted in that junkyard that says Jesus loves you, and that's where my lights were shining. So crazy as hell, bro. So anyways, while that shit was going down, I listened to my voicemail the next day. The girl was like, "Oh yeah, well, I don't know why you're ignoring my call. Bad things happen to you every time you ignore me." And like, oh, dang it. this bitch is the devil.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was the last time I ever stole a car. End of story time, though, but. Yeah, man. So I do see some validity and a lot of validity in what DMC was talking about. There are holes you can pick at, and there are some holes in his argument that you can pick at. But for the most part, man, dude was pretty on point with his analysis of rap music in general. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree too. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I think.
I agree.
I think it's a cycle, right? How they say history repeats itself. And it's crazy because like I want to say like we're like what first or second generation hip hop, maybe first generation hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like because now you gotta think like we're the ones that gotta tell these kids about Pac. We're the ones that gotta tell these kids like it's BDK and KRS going down tonight. These kids don't know what the hell that is.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? That's first generation hip hop, right? Like, hip hop was born in the 80s. So pretty much all of us whip it,
Yeah.
So like, yeah, man, like we had it, it was for us. Now it's being like how I say it's being pimped, right? Now hip hop is being watered down and pimped. And now, you got artists coming out or you got these people coming out that don't even want to really respect the culture. They want to make money.
Right. Yeah, I don't give a damn. I mean, look at what's that one lady able to come out and make an album just by being disrespectful on TV to her
Bad
mom.
Baby?
Yeah, the fact that she's able to come out and make an album or bingo or whatever she did, it's just crazy, man.
How the fuck you turn 3 words into a career? Catch Me Outside then turn into a damn rap career. Like, oh, you disrespectful? You could be a rapper.
Right.
The fuck?
That's it.
What does that say?
Horrible. You know what I'm saying? Because she wouldn't, if she wasn't disrespectful, she wouldn't have been on that show. And I don't know if that's acting or not or whatever. It could be. I'm sure some people go in there and like, make an act out of it and just try to get some, clout or whatever. But just the fact that she's able to do that, man, it's and these cats are co-signing it too. You know what I'm saying? Because, they don't want to miss out on that gravy train either. You know what I mean? And it's just sad. It's sad all around.
If I could sell the bitch a beat, I would.
Yo, y'all are stupid.
I mean, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, I'm talking about cats who are in position to say no. You know what I mean? It's sad, but it is what it is, man. Like you said, a lot of people, they're just coming in the game just to make money. They don't have no passion for it. You know what I'm saying? I grew up on it, so it's always going to be a part of me, whether I'm making money off of it or not. You know what I'm saying? I'm passionate about it. So like, like these other people, man, I can't. I can't say the same for them, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
I don't even know if it's like still inspiring people as much, right? Like the new stuff is just not inspiring, I guess, as much. Not that it's not, but it's not as much to me.
No, it is. It's inspiring them.
In what way though? Inspiring them to make money, or inspiring them to like really express them? Are they inspired to express themselves and to like push the limits of their talent, or are they just inspired to make a quick song to get money?
Yeah. Well, that. Yeah.
Both.
Yeah, both. I mean, I'm just saying not in a good way. They're just inspired to do something, you know what I'm saying? Like as far as like, oh, I can make money off of this, because somebody else is making money. Or I just, I got a nice ass. I can go out there and make some money off of this. You know what I mean?
Rapper go to the league, man. Rapper go to the league.
Right.
Just trying to change our living situation, right? That's it.
Man.
Yeah.
Just want to change our living situation, and then we'll go from there. We'll get more substance after that, but we got to cut this record and get this check.
Right. You know what? And to be honest, I don't really have a problem with that.
I don't either.
If a cat comes in and saying, you know what, this is what I gotta do to get their ear, to tell my real message, then I'm okay with that. But if that's all you're gonna do, you know what I'm saying, then I'm cool.
I'm like 50-50 on that shit. Like, we don't need no more MC Gustos in the game. CB4 for those that don't know, but man, we don't need no more Gustos in the game, bro. Like if you want to do that shit to get a quick record, but you selling a destructive message, then fuck you, bro. But if you trying to, so I think it was OG Mako. Man, it was one of them niggas, bro. I can't remember the song, but he sounded whack as fuck in his first single, and then the second single didn't really take off as much, but he was flexing his skill. And that shit was hard as hell. I want to say it was OG Mako, bro, but I really can't. Let me look up real quick so I'm not just wrong. OG Mako, what do you do? You guessed it. Yeah, you guessed it. I fucked with that song, but I thought he was just going to be another one of those niggas, bro. But no, he actually had some bars on the next song after that. Man.
Who was it?
Okay, and OG Mako.
OG Mako, okay.
I remember that.
So yeah, I'm like 50-50 on that. If you got the talent that you're trying to flex and you're just trying to get on so you can get noticed, go for it. Try to see if you can wiggle your way in. But if you a gusto, bro, fuck off.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
A culture
vulture. At a low cash, motherfucking nigga gusto.
Culture vulture.
Yeah, man. Tired of them niggas.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good topic, man. DMC definitely talked about some stuff. He said some stuff people need to hear too. So, and I think it was good coming from him because he's from that era. He was Run DMC, and you can look his lyrics up, and he backed it up. How he was saying the message came out that song. People was really telling stories like I'm close to the edge because this is terrible. Like this is how we really living out here. And not to say that's not going on because obviously there's great storytellers in hip hop today too. But the overall tone, the overall message has to change.
Yeah,
we got to start backing those that are doing that more versus the the WAP.
Give me like 2 minutes of mine. So I promote something every episode. This week we're going for Rusher and Verb. Our boy Verb, Tyrone Hardwick. He dropped a new album with his producer, and it's called Misfit with Attitude. So I'm just rocking this shirt right now. Make sure you check that shit out. It's on all streaming platforms, and also make sure you check out the track by Cash is my first name and Verb, Forever Humble. And then Verb has his album out with his boy Rusher called Misfits with Attitude. Check both of those artists out. They're on all streaming platforms.
And for Forever Humble, you type in 4, like the number 4, FOUR. So you type in Forever Humble, it'll pop up on Spotify, whatever streaming device you use. And support the brothers, man. They doing their thing, man. Support them. For sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You want to hit us with the outro, Lou?
Yeah, man. Once again, thanks for pulling up on the Potluck, my favorite podcast, your favorite podcast. Make sure you hit and subscribe so we know it's real. So hit that subscribe button so that we know it's real. And we definitely will show you love back. Like I said, we do this because y'all want us to and because we like it. But anyway, definitely bring what you're going to bring to the table as far as the potluck. And till next time, man, we out.
Peace. Sir.